Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Cian podcast. It's Nathan on the mic. I'm here with the other two of the OG3, Cian Shaw and Owen Peterson. How's it going, boys?
What it do?
Good to be back. It's been a while.
I know that it's been about 10 months, but honestly, we've just been reading up on the game notes. We've been getting prepared here to get back. NHL hockey is starting in less than a month, and we couldn't be more than excited. So, what should we do? Talk about the playing rounds here?
Yeah, let's start with some of the matchups.
All right. So, out west, Chicago and Edmonton. First off, so what do you think about that one?
I think it's going to be a clap fest. I think 29 and 97 are going to walk all over the Chicago, and I think it's going to be a quick 3 games. I think that Malcolm Subban, I'm sorry, but I don't think he has too much of a chance. If they had Corey Crawford, maybe they could win a game, but hey, you know what? Maybe Malcolm Subban becomes a hero.
He's waiting for his Kodak moment, first round pick.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe he steals a few games. I mean, any of these teams could just steal some games, but I don't know. Don't see it happening. Edmonton in 3.
Yeah, same. I don't see, they have Patrick Kane, but, that's it. Their D is atrocious. Keith and Seabrook are going to get walked around all game by McDavid. Draisaitl is just going to be a setup god. It's a wrap. Oilers in 3.
And Zach Cassian brought back the chop, so it's game over. They don't have a chance.
I think I'm a little bit more optimistic. I think that Edmonton is going to win in 4. I think that there will be a game that, Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat, Patrick Kane, I think they might get something going, maybe get a couple power play goals. And but still, I think Edmonton is going to dominate the 3 games that they win. All right, and the next series that we'll talk about is Vancouver and Minnesota. So, in my opinion, I think actually Minnesota might take this one. A little bit controversial. I think they'll take it in 5. I just think, even though they haven't been too far in the playoffs, I think that the guys like Koivu, Parise, Suter, they might just have a little bit more experience than the young guys in Vancouver.
I'm going to go with Vancouver in 5. I just think their top 2 lines are going to be absolutely lethal with Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, Bo Horvat. I just think they're going to take over the whole series, but Minnesota, they also have a pretty good depth team too, both forwards and defense, so it could go either way, but I'm saying Canucks in 5.
Yeah, I'll go Canucks in 4. I think that, with a lot of these playing series, I just kind of look at the goalies, for most series, apart maybe the Pittsburgh Montreal one, but I'd take Jacob Markstrom over Alex Stalock any day, or even Devin Dubnyk, whichever one plays. But yeah, I just think that Markstrom, I don't see Minnesota being able to score too much on him, and they just have that much more firepower up front compared to Minnesota. And I mean, Minnesota, they may give them a run for their money because their defense is one of the best in the league, but I think when it's all said and done, I think Vancouver will win this one with fairly easily. I think Minnesota still takes a game, but Vancouver in 4.
Next up is our most anticipated series, Winnipeg and Calgary. Obviously, because we're from Winnipeg, we like the Jets. So what do you guys think?
I'll say Winnipeg, guys, and I'm going to be biased. I'm saying Jets in 4. Just their team, their top 6 is probably one of the best 6 in the league when they're all healthy. Their D is a bit questionable, but they got it done all year almost, right? Hellebuyck's, I'd say, top 2 goalies in the league, top 3. So I'm saying Jets in 4. Flames, they have a good group of players, good forwards, good D. Goalie's a bit questionable for them with Mike Smith, right? No, Talbot, I mean.
Talbot and
Rick.
Big Save Dave.
Big Save Dave.
So it'll be a really good series, but I'm saying Jets in 4. Just Laine, Scheifele, Wheeler are going to just take over the series, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I'll go Jets in 5. Obviously super biased, so maybe my opinion doesn't really matter on this, but as long as Hellebuyck gets back to close to where he was at the end of the season, then I think the Jets will be fine. I think from Calgary's perspective, if Johnny Hockey doesn't get going, then they're going to be in really tough. I also just don't know if I trust Calgary's goalies that much. But then again, maybe Big Save Dave make some big saves and keep them in it. So I don't know. I think it'll be a really close series though. But yeah, I think ultimately Jets come on top.
The thing with Gaudreau is he has done nothing in the playoffs the last however many years he's been in. Like last year against Colorado, he did nothing.
He missed like 3 breakaways in one game.
Yeah, like he was like, if they just shut down Johnny Hockey, then I say Jets take it pretty easily.
I've got Jets in 4. I mean, the Flames have Milan Lucic, so next. Now, who's the other playing series then?
Nashville, Arizona.
Okay, so the most boring one out of all of these.
Every single game will be 1-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
I am actually going to go Arizona in 4. I feel like, maybe Clayton Keller gets hot. I know that he didn't have the best season this year, but maybe he gets hot. Maybe Taylor Hall finds his MVP caliber that he was at a couple seasons ago, and maybe he has a couple goals. I think that Darcy Kemper and Antti Ranta, whoever plays out of those two, I think that's a great goaltender for that team. I just don't like Pecorine or UC Saros playing in the playoffs. It's proven that Pecorine doesn't do well in the clutch. So
yeah, I definitely agree with the whole Rene and Saros versus Kemper and Ranta. So similarly, yeah, I think I'll say Coyotes and I'll say 5. I think Pekka Rinne has shown year after year that just when it matters most, you can't get it done. And Darcy Kemper's been unreal for the past little while, so I'll go with him. But you know what, for the Coyotes, I think it's a win-win. If you win the series, then you finally make it back to the playoffs. If you lose, you're guaranteed the first overall pick because you have Taylor Hall on your team. So they can't go wrong.
And also shout out Biz.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Arizona in 5. I just think they're, again, top 6 is with Hall, Kessel, Keller, just all those guys. I think their D is pretty good too, and I say right now they have the best 1-2 goalie tandem in the league with Kemper and Ranta. Some teams have a lot stronger starters, but their backups are not as strong. So I think right now having a really solid 1-2 tandem is really huge for them with this whole pandemic just going on. So I'm saying Arizona in 5.
All right, now we swing out east, and we got maybe the most lopsided matchup in all this, Montreal and Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. I'll say Pittsburgh and you know what? I'll give Montreal 1 game. So I'll say Pittsburgh in 4. So, yeah, I mean, everyone knows the narrative that Pittsburgh is absolutely stacked. They have our boy Brandon Tanev, Sidney Crosby, Gino, Gensel's back, everything. Just they're so stacked. The only question mark is that their goaltending is kind of iffy, whether it's Jari or Murray. I think it'll probably be Murray, but either way, obviously that's not as good as Carey Price, so that could be the difference. So I wouldn't count out Montreal, obviously, just because of Carey Price, but no Max Domi. It's most likely with the whole diabetes thing, but you know what, maybe he's there. But I just don't think they'll be able to score enough goals to win 3 games.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in 3. Sorry, Warga, but Habs have absolutely no chance in this series, especially if Domi doesn't play. They have no one. And Carl Olsen is out, so there goes that. No chance.
Yeah.
Lafreniere is going to Montreal.
Even though Montreal has the GOAT, Jordan Wheel, they also have a good stick, Lecky, and they have our boy Ben Sherratt. I still don't think they got much going on. And also, they have this guy Evans that is always in NHL, and he's always in the lineup. Take that guy out of the lineup. He's 73 overall. So I don't think that Montreal is going to get much of a sniff. I think it's going to be a 3-game series, and Pittsburgh will move on. So another series, maybe, actually, this might be the most boring one. Florida and the Islanders. If anybody watches that series, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
I'm just going to watch it just to watch hockey. I don't care what the series is. It's going to be the most boring hockey, but...
Give them all the noon games.
Yeah.
Exactly. Give them all the early games or the mid-afternoon games. The one where no one, that's not true.
Or the 11:30 night games.
Yeah. No one wants to be watching those. These two teams. I mean, we've seen the Islanders. They're boring, but I think they'll win. I mean, every single time I pick Florida to do well in anything, they always let me down. I pick them to make the playoffs, they miss the playoffs. They signed Sergei Bobrovsky, everything looks like it's going to go well. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't see them winning. You can't bet against Barry Trotz. I think Islanders get it done in 4 games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Islanders in 3. Honestly, Bobrovsky has proven year to year that he cannot perform in the playoffs that well.
Except last year.
But other than that, like year after year, it's been the same Bobrovsky in the playoffs up until last year. So obviously, if he plays like how he did last year in the playoffs, then hey, Florida has a lot better of a chance. But I'm just saying, the Islanders just on paper are a much better team in my opinion. So I say Islanders in 3.
I'm actually gonna go Panthers in 4. They got Huberdeau, Barkov, Dadonov up front. They got Yandel and my boy Mackenzie Wiega on the point. So
Noah Chai.
Noah Chai, yeah. So I think that those guys, I think that they're gonna pull through. Actually, the Islanders are just so boring. So I just like to root against them all the time. And that Frankie Borelli is a pigeon too. So we'll move on to another series. What do we got going here? I don't really know what's out east.
Not Philly. I meant Rangers and Carolina.
Okay, yeah,
That's gonna be an interesting one.
I actually like that series. I think the Hurricanes are going to sweep them though.
Yeah.
I think they obviously proved it last year that they can make it to the conference finals. Svechnikov's very good. Aho is very good. They have a good decor. They got Dougie Hamilton and Jacob Slavin. So I think that they're going to win this one in 4. Even though I already said 3, but I think they're going to win it in 4. I'll give Zibanejad and Panarin a game, but other than that, I don't think the Rangers will do too much in this series.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm saying Hurricanes in 4. Their D is probably the best in the league right now. Most depth, like Dougie Hamilton, Pesci, Slavin, Brady Shea, Man Rock Eller, and with Svechnikov, like Aho, Trocheck, like their goalies only are a bit questionable, but I'm saying they get it done in 5. I'll give Rangers 2 games with Panarin and Zibanejad, but that's about it. I'm getting Hurricanes in 5.
Okay, I'm on the other end. I'm gonna say Rangers in 5. I just think that they have much better goaltending, whether it's Shesterkin, Georgiev, or Lundqvist. I think that I just don't trust James Reimer or Peter Mrazek to win. I just don't see it. Well, I mean, they have an unreal defense, like best in the league, but I don't know. I just think that Panarin and Zibanejad can just keep going and just score enough goals, and then the goaltending will be there, and they have their defense. The depth is a little thin, but obviously still have Adam Fox and Jacob Tuba, as he was known as during the playoffs a few years back. But yeah, I don't know. And Rangers did well against them during the regular season. I think they were like 4-0, so I think they'll just keep rolling.
It'll for sure be an interesting series, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last up we got Toronto and Columbus. As much as I'd love to say that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to lose this series, I don't think they will. Yeah. So therefore, I think that it's going to be the Columbus Blue Jackets not winning. And it's going to be Toronto in, I'd say 4.
Yeah, I'm going to say Toronto in 4 as well. As good as Elvis was leading up to the whole break, I just don't think Columbus really has a chance. Toronto just, again, they probably one of the best forwards in the league with Matthews. I mean, Jesus, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. Their D is a bit questionable, but they got Freddie Anderson in net. So yeah, I'm saying Toronto in 4.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say Toronto in 5. It's hard to bet against Tortorella, but I'm doing it here. Obviously, they just have so much star power up front, and obviously Columbus. I think this is where maybe not having Panarin and Duchesne will. I know also Bobrovsky, but I think their goaltending's fine without him. But I think just having those 2 forwards up front, I think that they'll feel it. Just not having that star power compared to the Leafs, and yeah, obviously with you guys, I'm not a big fan of the Leafs and how the media just pumps out their content 24/7, but yeah, I think Leafs will take it in 5. They're due.
I'd also rather the Leafs win so they don't have a chance of Lafreniere, because if
they don't have
what? Oh yeah, who is it?
No, it's like lottery protected.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Protected.
It's top 10 protected, I guess.
Yeah, so they have a chance at it, and I would not want Lafreniere to go to Toronto.
No,
that's the last place.
Then if they play Boston, well. We all know how that's going to go. 7 games, but they'll lose.
Yeah.
All right.
3-goal lead.
Well, I thought about 5 players that can maybe make a huge difference for their teams. You know, some underrated players that don't usually get talked about when you mention teams. So first off, I have Duncan Keith. In my opinion, I think if Duncan Keith steps up in the playoffs and becomes Conn Smythe Duncan Keith that he was in 2015, and he becomes the best defenseman in that series, I think that could really swing some momentum in Chicago's way. I don't know if it'll be enough for them to win the series, but I think, you know, having so much experience, 3 cups, 2 gold medals, I think it's hard to bet against Duncan Keith, even though he's getting up in age.
He's what, 35 now?
He's getting up there.
So are we just each like saying players that we think can step up?
Well, I just have a few players. You guys
Okay.
can mention some too if you'd like.
Whew, off the top of my head, I'll go.
How about Vincent Trocheck?
I guess I don't know.
Some secondary scoring.
Yeah, good. Yeah, secondary scoring line.
Yeah, I'd go Kachuk. Honestly, he can just mess up any series, and he's just such a pest.
That's
Just I don't know. Thinking off the top of my head, that's kind of something that comes to mind. Or I don't know if you want to look at defense, maybe someone like Jared Spurgeon,
Yeah,
like maybe
Spurgeon,
one of the
I was
most
gonna say.
underrated guys in the NHL. I mean, if he just kind of can shut down Vancouver's guys, he kind of goes unnoticed. But if he can do that, then I mean, that changes that series. So
First,
yeah, I don't know. Just kind of thinking.
first guy that came to mind was James Neal.
James Neal.
The real deal.
James the real deal Neal. He was on a tear up until I think he got injured, which cut his season a bit short. But if he can step it up in the playoffs like he did years ago for both Nashville and Pittsburgh, I think he can honestly be a good secondary scorer. And probably playing with Draisaitl, or if not, then Yamamoto or someone. So I think James Neal, he can be very underrated.
Another guy that I thought of is Anthony Beauvillier. If you put him on the right line, I think that he could chip in some offense. He's a good, secondary scorer. If he can maybe, get 3 or 4 points in that series, maybe that'll be enough scoring that the Islanders need to get past a team like Florida. He was drafted in the same draft as Barzal, right? I think.
Beauvillier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was. So maybe you reunite those guys and you never know what happens.
Yeah, it's very tough to tell because obviously there hasn't been any hockey since March,
Yeah.
right? We have no clue who's healthy. We have no clue who's stayed in shape. So it's really tough to tell. And you can go off of season stats, but some guys were on an absolute tear, and obviously that wears off. Right, not playing hockey for however long, right? So it's very tough to think of guys off the top of your head.
Yeah, I guess it'll show who's been sitting on the couch eating chips for the past 3 months and
Yeah.
who's been working and who really
Not playing Fortnite.
cares and who wants to be there. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Another guy that popped into my head, one of the guys that plays for the Jets, Jack Roslovic. A player like him, if he could chip in some offense as well, that could really help out. Maybe
Yeah.
Line A doesn't step in and maybe he's not in the greatest shape right off the beginning. You just never know. A guy like Roslovic has a ton of speed and a ton of skill. If you give him a little bit more opportunity, maybe put him on the second power play, maybe he can get something going out there.
Yeah, another kind of dark horse is Anthony Boteto. I think
No.
he's just been playing lots of Chell.
Tony!
Lots of Chell during the break. Obviously, he was playing against Roman Josi and was Scheifele, guys like that. So obviously, his mind is in hockey shape. And
Got some
one
pointers from them.
of the Jets' D goes down, which is highly likely because someone's always getting hurt on the Jets. Little's still hurt, so someone else will probably get hurt too. Boteto can jump right in, and you know what? He's definitely the funny guy on the team. So maybe can lighten up the room, make some jokes in such a tough time around the world.
Beastetto. Another guy that I thought of is Jujhar Khaira. That guy, his slap shot in NHL 20, there's nothing like it.
That's why it's a video game, Nathan.
No, but Jujhar, maybe he mixes it up a little bit. Maybe he gets in a fight. You never know. Swing some momentum, throw some big
I
hits.
thought they're not allowed
He's
to
a big
fight.
boy.
He fights with Matthew Tkachuk in preseason.
Yeah.
That preseason game is a nightmare waiting to happen. I don't care if it's the first game; it's gonna be fucking physical as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Tkachuk and Cassian are for sure gonna go at it all game.
Also, horrible idea by the NHL putting Calgary and Edmonton
And
in the
Philly,
preseason.
Philly, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Just, throw all the rivalries.
They're just trying to boost
Doesn't
their
make any
TV
sense.
ratings.
When they don't want hitting or anything to be like
Yeah.
involved.
You don't want anyone hurt. But
Yeah. And
it's not doing anything for it.
no.
Maybe we'll see another goalie fight.
Oh my god.
Matt Murray versus
Kinda hot.
Also, you guys see that fight in practice today in between Torrey Krug and Connor Clifton?
No.
Just kind of like a joke fight.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of watching it, and I'm not really the biggest guy with, they shouldn't be near each other, like 6 feet apart, social distancing. But then again, you're playing at a professional level. You shouldn't be play fighting in practice when everybody, is wearing masks into the rink. They're all in a bubble. They're staying in their own hotel rooms, things like that. I just think it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, until they're in the bubble, in wherever, in their hub cities,
yeah.
it's, I don't know, kind of just try to keep it as like low key as possible. Just, I think once they're in the hub city, I mean, I'm no expert, but then I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. It's
just a matter of getting there. I think will be the challenging part.
That video of McKinnon and Rantanen tipping the pucks, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was unreal. Like, that's unreal.
Just the soft touch.
Just like Rantanen's first tip went like right in the corner of the crossbar. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I did that, it'd ride up my stick and hit me in the face.
Or it just wouldn't leave the ice for me. So
Maybe not. Well, maybe we could swing this into some beer league talk. The boys playing for the Twinkies this season again.
I'm gonna take a step
Obviously.
back. I'm out of the Twinkies lineup for the year, so we'll let Nathan and Cian do the beer league talk.
hey,
No.
I'm a goal per game right now. So where the fuck are you guys?
Yeah, I'm actually 2 points per game as well. So, but it's just nice to get back on the ice. Get a nice sweat. Hang out with the boys. It's always good to get back. What a wonderful thing that the Winnipeg Rec Hockey League is doing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's organized very well. Zero tolerance for breaking the rules there, and just a great time. Good to be back.
Owner's an absolute beauty.
Rob, shout out Rob Barnsley. That guy's a beauty.
Yeah, we're on a 2-game skid right now. Haven't had the best 2 games, but we're looking to somehow turn around against the heavily favorited Bud Knights.
The Bud Knights, baby.
They beat the team we lost to last night 8-2.
They beat them 8-2 last night?
They beat them 8-2 last week. I don't know if they beat Mustard Tigers, but yeah, Bud Knights beat Fill the Throats 8-2 last week, and we lost 9-7 to Fill the Throats.
Okay, but we should not have lost yesterday.
No, it was a bit of a questionable game. A lot of us weren't playing that well, including me.
Our timekeeper got hit in the face.
Yeah, our timekeeper got an absolute shiner to the side of the head.
Yeah,
Yeah, she got pegged, puck right in the side of the face.
Black eye within
Black
30
eye.
seconds.
Oh yeah.
And then Good thought he was Patrick Kane stick handling around.
No, that guy looked like he was playing mini sticks. He had the shortest stick I've ever seen in my life. And he shot it into their bench. He shot it into our bench. And then he shot it into the timekeeper's bench.
Oh yeah, I was watching
3 times.
how he does that. He shot it into his own
Yeah.
bench. Like, does that guy not have a brain?
No.
It legit hit off the middle of the glass, took the weirdest bounce ever, and just like hit the chick right in the face. And it was not. I watched it in slow motion too. Like, it was. I could just watch it happen. I was like, oh shit, that's gonna hit her right in the face.
I was on the ice showing off my Patrick Kane like hands, showing off the Michigan. It is what it is. I was just getting warmed up. I had to get 2 goals last night, but yeah, because nobody else was freaking playing. So that's the end of Twinkie talk. You guys have anything else to chip in before we call it off?
Not really.
Glad to get back into CNO podcasting for the summer.
Yeah, we'll be sure to bring you some more episodes as the summer goes on. We're not going to promise you how often they'll be, but once we have things to talk about, once we get further on into the playoffs, we'll tune back with you guys. And nice talking to you, and bye-bye.